The roll 20.
That was well timed. Okay, so welcome back. This is this is session 38. My god. So last session, the party went bathing. We had a few shenanigans occur in the bathhouse. Refers to comically large sponge.
So true.
I'm still traumatized.
Can I just get my notes up because I forgot that I do that.
Hey, at least you actually logged into the roll 20. I didn't.
Well,
What? You didn't write what?
I am
Anyhow.
now.
So the
Sessions and
party
you
then
still aren't logged in?
returned. The party then returned to Lenfar, where you met a couple of the guild members. Mira was being taught by Penton how to socially interact in a normal manner, which was somewhat successful. And you met several different group members, such as the very memorable Shalna, Alonso, Brutus, Cedric, and Alyssa. Now we move.
And Susan!
And Susan, yes.
Susan.
I was too scared to mention Susan. Nah.
Cedric.
We're all too scared of Susan.
Anyhow, so we start on a fresh day after the revelation last session that the book that only Kay and Alistair were capable of reading just so happened to be one of the parts of the Helm heirloom, which you got introduced to a quiet room hidden away inside the guild. As of this day, we're gonna fast forward to about midday, where you guys have had Alice return to your company, and she's been briefly absent, but she returned to the room at about midday, where the rest of you are all gathered together, as you've been told by the guildmaster that you have two people coming to visit, if you will. Bless you. You have had two people come to visit you. And this is where we will jump in. Have fun greeting Alice. As previously she had gotten left
Hi,
behind.
Alice! How have you been?
I've been alright. What have you guys been up to?
Crazy shit.
What? What have you been doing?
Meeting really weird, strange people. That
Like
live
who?
with us. So many. Mary has been learning how to socialize, haven't you, Mary?
Mary has socialised without me.
I know how to speak to people now.
Socialised without me.
Well, yeah, I can't do everything with you. You weren't even here.
Yeah, well,
did it with
I was doing more important things, thank you.
Like sleeping.
Yeah. But I was having Peloton teach me how to speak.
How to speak? Well, I've been doing much more important things than that.
Like what?
Well, your girl here, she's a real woman. She's a single woman.
Okay, what?
And
Single woman?
she's a sad single woman.
Wait, your major broke up with you?
Well, I broke up with him.
You can't be sad then, can you?
I mean, I can a little bit sad, you know. It just wasn't meant to be. It just wasn't working out for us, you know.
Right, and what did you say to him?
Well, I was basically like, look, Mado, like, I never see you, but we never spend time with each other like we used to, and I guess we both have different goals in life and different mindsets. We're just not on the same path, you know.
I mean, you've been away from him for quite a while now.
Yeah, but he was literally going to rejoin the party. Is he even going to do that now?
Yeah, about that. Yeah, no, yeah, it's best if he doesn't.
Oh my god. Well, there goes another one.
Wow.
Look, it just
Drama.
it wasn't working. The sparks, they weren't there anymore. I can't just force a relationship that I don't even want just so someone stays in the party.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying that, but it's probably
You
better.
could go get with him now.
I have someone.
What?
Remember this?
Milo just turns and looks at Kay as exacerbated.
Oh my
Very much
goodness,
Who?
Mira.
Sorry?
Yeah.
At K, I think.
Okay.
At Kay.
Okay. Sorry, my
Hold
brain
on,
had.
let me bring my mic closer and hope that it does better.
Yes.
I'm
Hit it
gonna
on the
join
head for
Milo
performance.
in the exacerbation. I'll be exacerbated.
Well,
Whatever that
What,
means.
Milo? Are you also exacerbated?
Yeah, that's what I said.
It's kind of just like,
Grimace.
Kay just looks back at Alec and Milo with an expression of, what do you expect me to say here?
Milo just shrugs.
Kay, there's a whole conversation being exchanged between Kay and Milo just via them staring at each other, and there's a whole debate going on there. Before Kay turns to Alice, and in a very calm and collected manner says, "Well, something you missed while you were, doing whatever you were doing in Carmas is that."
What did I miss?
Well, we found out that the book that only me and Alistair were able to read was actually part of the one of the heirloom pieces. So
Oh,
that's a thing.
that is a thing.
To think that we were carrying around such a powerful thing this entire time and never thought twice about it.
Yeah. Well, I love that for us.
Anyway, and Xanis speaks up. Well, something that's probably worth bringing up is that we're supposed to have our group visited today. Apparently, a couple of people are moving back in, and we've got to try and work out where the other bloodline members are. That was what we were trying to figure out with Papa Wolf last time.
Oh, well, there we go. We are going to get some people joining the party, Mira.
That's
Yes, but we
really
would have been
point.
one up
I like-
extra.
You've really missed the point.
It's fine, Mira. Don't worry. It seems like the point kind of gets missed a lot. Anyway,
Yeah.
What did I do?
you hear, as you come out of that, there's a banging on the door.
What's up?
Milo! And then Gelda pops his head around the door. Am I interrupting something?
Uh.
No? Brilliant. Well, and he marches straight on in with Fenrir just kind of, you can hear Fenrir's frustrated growl of just disappointment outside the door. And yeah, Fenrir enters, and surprisingly enough, Yuzok. Before the door closes. Well, thankfully enough, the guildmaster spent a little bit of time sorting things out, but myself and Yuzok will be rejoining Group U. How exciting!
It's good to have you two.
Yeah, nice to be back. And Yuzok looks down at Milo and just pats him on the head.
Yeah.
Was
Xanis,
that some flirting?
Xanis turns to
No.
Alice with a snarl. Anyway, you can't comment on flirting right now, Mrs. Anyhow,
No, I can't. I'm single.
exactly, by
Okay,
your own
anyway.
accord. Anyway, moving onwards,
And not
we
the
have...
An independent single woman.
Guys, please, for the love of God, close your mouth.
Fucking savage, Jesus. Xanis brushes his arm. Right, so... we were trying to work out where the Bloodline members are. I know Papa Wolf mentioned that one of them was in Levias, but that's halfway across the friggin' continent. Well, I say across the continent, across the planet. We know that Milo's grandmother's here, so I think she was one of them. But yeah. Out of all of them, there's only one of them that I really have no idea on right now. Have we ever met a druid?
Not that I can think of.
Maybe
so.
maybe they'll be connected to some of the other ones, and we can do them last. You know.
Well, we're missing the druid. We're missing the holy knight. We're missing the time mage, the scholar, and the green mage. And I guess the bard, but we kind of know where he or she may be. We could try doing some traveling to find out, but I'm not sure how that would go.
Do we have like a starting place? Because just traveling to figure it out.
Well,
Can we
not gonna
contact
work very
Milo's
well.
grandmother? Surely we can.
Why would we contact? Oh.
Xanis looks over to Milo. Well, I guess we could give it a go, but I don't know whether your grandma would know that much.
I mean, we can always ask Astra, but it's
Come on, English, Mimi, you can do it.
let's just go find her.
I mean, I've met her, so I could ask her like right now, if you want.
If you've met her, then surely you can contact her, and then we
Yeah,
can
I
just
could
go like
sending.
straight there.
I could just sending.
She is also
Yeah,
in the
and
same building.
then we might have an idea about the rest of them.
Oh, she's
She
here?
is
Oh
here.
shit.
Well,
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
do you not remember? She literally came out of
She
Milo's
came
pocket
back
as a
with us
tiny
from
bird.
earlier.
Yeah, what Milo said.
Sorry, I wasn't here. Ah.
I don't know. A lot of crazy shit happens. So
Did you take a few too many breaths underwater?
maybe. Brain filled with seawater.
But I'm gonna be honest. I don't know how much help Gran will be, because if we don't know the person, I doubt that she would be able to locate them if there is such a spell. Because with those kind of spells, don't you need to know like the appearance, the name? The more familiar you are, the better the spell is, or something.
Kay speaks up in response. Well, yeah, that's pretty much how that works. Any scrying or, well, yeah, any spell that's really to do with locating either has far too limited a range, or you would need to have either a physical object or some knowledge of the person. So,
We
it's
have
unlikely.
no knowledge.
Seems a little bit loose-ended. Well, let's think. We could try and go to Levi. We could try and go to Levias and then have a look around the island, although that is quite an extensive task considering. We could try doing a bit of information gathering.
I think we should do some information gathering. I don't think there's much point just wandering around like aimlessly.
Out of character,
Mhm.
do we know the names or last names of the bloodlines?
I would say yes, bar one of them that has not been very well recorded. I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go off the idea that, like, as of wrapping up the whole scenario of the previous session, after Lupus and Ziffy had a little bit of a panic over a new major figure that was introduced, the Pariah King, who may or may not be involved with the enemy, would have mentioned the names of the bloodlines. So I will copy and paste the lovely little list, but
Yeah.
into the main chat. But this is the most information that you were given, just shorthand.
Yeah, I
Sorry.
was just gonna say, like, how well documented are these stages? Would it be something I would have read about?
Probably
Any
not.
kind of- Okay.
I highly doubt the library that the Atisa family kept would have had any information on these, as it's quite old manuscripts that are not only very limited in number, but even Mr. Master Informant, who is now deceased, didn't have any of the documentation.
Damn,
On-
when Tuck don't got it, we're fucked.
Pretty much, the Tuck lineage of informants did not have the documents available as of Mira being at home. So
Damn it, Green Man. The one thing you could have done to have been useful.
sorry. The irony of that, knowing that he is very much deceased.
Well, it's probably better
You
that he
ruined
didn't know,
me,
otherwise...
You ruined me life, and now you ruin it even when you're dead.
It's probably better that he didn't know, though, because otherwise the cult would know, and they'd be 3 steps ahead of us.
Yeah, well, that doesn't make me any less sad.
Do you think he stalks you in the afterlife?
Yeah, he's a petty little bitch, isn't he?
Anyway, arguably the hardest to probably find is the Green Mage, considering we don't even know the name. So unless they quite literally walk onto our doorstep, we somehow find some information regarding them, they're arguably going to be the hardest to find.
Out of character, could I maybe know a little bit about the Time Age? Because
Roll
like
a
general-
history check with advantage for me.
ooh, yes, those are the words I like to hear with advantage.
And then when it says disadvantage, you vomit and cry.
Fucking
So
rude.
true. Literally shaking and crying, throwing up. Social? Yes.
It'd be on the social page on the left side.
History.
Don't worry.
History.
Take your time.
That's not very good. 27?
Yep, that is I would say that's a success. So you recall that last name, Yuiki, sounding very familiar to you, and that's when it clicks in your head that, hang on a minute, that's a very familiar name to you. How the hell have you not pinned that before? As that's the same name as the village elder of your hometown.
No! But
one
go
lovely
back there.
Back
Yep.
where?
one lovely
Oh, I wanna go. Sorry, continue.
Alec, don't the fuck you up.
Continue while Alec cries.
So Alex suddenly, it seems like he's just remembered something that's upsetting him quite a bit. But Alec, you recall that the name of the village elder being Hrefnasa Yuiki, and realizing that the last name matches up almost identically with the last name that you were given for whoever the time sage was, as we're gonna call him.
Okay, guys, good news, I know where the time mage is. Bad news, it's my fucking hometown. God.
God, home
Fuck.
family visit.
No!
He's
No!
been upset.
I mean, if it's the only lead we have.
Can we go somewhere else first? I don't...
I mean, I'd rather take a strong lead than win. Well,
Rather than become a microwave
Yeah, we
mirror.
should take the
Yeah,
strong lead.
win words are not generally that useful.
yeah, I don't
Okay,
like
fine.
being win were we?
I'll emotionally prepare, I guess right now.
Roll
Good
an
luck.
emotional preparedness check.
No.
Okay,
No.
I'm doing it. I just like rolling dice, what can I say?
I mean, I don't blame you, it's kind of fun.
It is
Ooh,
cathartic.
16!
Wow, you haven't
That means
vomited
nothing,
yet.
I'm not
Charisma
emotionally
save to not
prepared.
burst into tears.
Yeah.
And it just like drops one on the floor.
Xanis lets out a slightly frustrated sigh. Right, so we're not just gonna jump straight at the first lead, okay?
Oh,
So we know where one of them is. If it's the village elder from your hometown, then that shouldn't be too difficult to find. But we should probably do some information digging because it's all good and well if we have one lead, but once we exhaust that lead and we can't find anything else, then we're a bit fucked. Right. I guess if me and Milo go to ask his grandma about any information she might have, and I guess we can bring Yuzok with us, and then Jelda, Kay, Mira, Jelda, Kay, and Alec. If you guys go and have a look in the guild's library, we should have some information. And then I guess Alice and Penton and Mira, you guys can just exist, I guess.
Aww.
Woo! Existing.
Is that good with everyone?
Yup.
Let's go.
Okay, so. Okay, so Alec, Kay, and Jelda end up heading into the guild's library. While then we have Milo, Xanis, and Yuzok go and have a chat with Astra. And then the only people left in this room right now are Alice, Mira, and Penton. People left in this room, is there anything you want to do while you're here?
We team just exist then.
Pretty much, yeah.
Don't break it.
Peloton!
What?
Can you teach me a magic trick, please?
Teach you a magic trick?
Yeah, I wanna deceive.
I'm a gambler, a
Words that
thief, and a
have-
con man. I'm not a magician.
Oh, I could teach you a magic trick.
No, I'd rather learn from Penton.
What? Why?
Because Peloton's got more experience. Show me how you do that queen thing. Or
What
you can
queen
just
thing?
Or you can just show me how to haggle. That'll work.
Wait, show me too. Show me too.
Sure, why not?
Yay!
And whilst Penton is doing this, we are gonna cha-cha slide on over to Milo, Xanis, Milo, Xanis, and Uzok, who have managed to locate Astra, who is currently sitting in one of the large guild gardens, sipping some tea.
Oh, hello, dearies. What brings you to me? Is there anything I can help you with? Hi, Gran. Well, we're currently trying to find some information about some of the other bloodlines, the Great Sage bloodlines that, well, we don't really know the location of.
Yeah, I was hoping that you could kind of use your magic or something to try and recall something. We've got Xanis kind of pulls out a bit of paper that he's been scrolling down some notes on. I don't suppose any of these names are familiar to you? And he hands it over to Astra.
So it'll be Silver and Elven? Those are Did I say them right?
So the names on that paper are, well, the main ones that you're trying to find leads on are Inspe, Silvera. You roughly know where the Mayflower lot is, and you've just worked out where the Uiki line is. So yeah, it's the Inspe, Silvera, and Elven bloodlines that you're trying to work out where they are.
Okay. I've got Astra's old sheet up, by the way.
Okie dokie.
Can she roll history?
Yes.
That's a 54 on history.
Damn. Yeah. So Astra kind of takes the time and recalls information about one particular name that's on there. It takes her a few seconds to put the last name to a face, but recognizes it. If you look in the thing.
In this one?
Yes.
Ah. Oh yes. Carmina. The Inns bloodline should be Carmina. She's a lovely singer. I'm sure that you've heard about her.
Yeah, I've heard of her. Good voice. And Uzok just randomly pipes up and just is very nodding to himself as though he recognizes that first name clearly.
I'm afraid I don't know much about the Silver or Elven lines.
Well,
I've never come across anyone in my travels, and I'm afraid that since I'm not really familiar with them, I don't really have a spell that can help me at this time.
Ah. Well, and Xanis looks to Milo. I mean, it's something, and Uzok seems to know who Carmina is. So I guess it's something.
You've now got me scrolling through all of Astra's spells going,
Oh no. Don't worry.
Yeah, there is literally nothing in there.
Yeah, I know that the old sheets need converting over into my knee! Over into the new format. And we'll just bang my knee on the desk.
I guess I do have a question.
Yes.
Legend lore. If only we had an item.
If only. Yeah, that's actually a good thought.
I suppose legend lore might be of use, but I doubt that we have anything from the bloodlines of Silver or Elven. Unless you want to pull something out of a hat.
And as you say that, Uzok literally reaches into... Oh my god, this is really funny. Sorry. Give me 2 seconds to just mentally compose myself before I come out with this, because this is going to make me giggle a little bit. So, as you say that, Yuzok immediately goes into his bag and is rifling around. It's kind of confusing, because, like, wait, what? What is he doing? Sir, what are you doing? And out of his bag, he pulls a chunk of wood that, with no context as to what it actually is very confusing. And Yuzok just puts it in front of Astra. Man gave me this a while ago.
Okay. I wasn't expecting that, but okay then. If you want, I can also attempt to identify it as well as casting Legend Lore, if that is something that you would like.
Yes, please, ma'am.
Alrighty. So Astra is going to first cast Identify. I'm now going scrolling up and down so we can find it again. So, depending on how many rounds they focus for. The caster gains, but is that something that she is like? Am I really identified correctly, or does it work differently here?
Give me a second to cha-cha slide on over into your sheet.
Because at the moment, Identify kind of looks like Detect Magic, and that sound, and that I don't.
Oh, hunga bunga, hunga bunga. Let me check the. Oh my god, this is where I've like accidentally copied over the wrong thing. List of spells. Control F, identify. Nope, that is not the right thing. I do not want the hallucination. Nope, that is correct. It's just really weirdly worded. Huh.
Okay, so she's going to focus for 3 rounds, but if it's an artifact tier item, she can't really identify it, I'm guessing.
Yeah. So it is not an artifact tier item. So you should be able to identify. She should be able to identify it.
You can make an Arcana check of DC 15 for spell level or caster level.
So basically, it's just rolling a. I don't even think you need to roll Arcana, to be honest.
No. Arcana's a lot higher than that.
Yeah, unless you want to roll in case of a nat 1, but I don't think you'd want to do that. Please don't do that.
Nat what?
Technically, there's also a +10, so it's 70. I
Nice.
guess.
So as Astra takes the time to identify it, she realizes that this piece of wood is not from this plane, and is actually a piece of a tree that only grows in the Feywild.
Mm-hmm. Do I know the specific name of the tree?
Yes, but you're gonna laugh at the name of it.
Oh dear god, is it penis?
No.
Damn.
The vagina tree.
No.
The universal funny word that comes to mind.
Of course.
I mean,
it's 69.
True. The tree is called it's called a Jumbahonk tree.
Jumbahonk.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes, that is the correct spelling in the chat. A Jumbahonk tree.
This piece of wood is from the Fey realm, from a tree known as the Jumbahonk tree.
Sorry. come up with these names and they still make me giggle.
Yes, yes, Jumbo Honk. Now she's going to cast Legend Lore. And
Okay.
I'm going to laugh at the fact you spelled legends wrong here.
I probably did.
Cast uses a spell to bring mind legends about an important person, place, or thing. If the person or thing is at hand of the caster is at the place in question, the casting time is 1d4 times 10 minutes. If cast only has detailed information, then the casting time is 1d10 days. And the resulting lore is less complete or specific, but gives enough information to help find the person, place, or thing, allowing a better legend lore. If the caster only knows rumours, the casting time takes 2 to 6 weeks, and the results are vague and incomplete, but can give more details. During the spell's casting time, the caster cannot engage in any activity outside of routines like eating, sleeping, and so on. When completed, the spell brings to mind legends, if any, about the person, place, or thing. These legends may be current, long forgotten, or even information that has never been known to the common folk. If the person, place, or thing isn't of legendary importance, the caster gains no information. As a rule of thumb, characters who are 11th level or higher are legendary as creatures and monsters the characters may contend with, and any major magical items.
Okay, so going off, I can't believe brain cells.
Want me to copy and paste it?
I've got see, the funny thing is, I have to have the entire spell compendium up at one time in case somebody casts something random. So this lovely 1,852 long list of spells is an experience to read through. So it would be whether you're trying. So if you're trying to recall legends based around this wood, then it would be the 1d4 by 10 minutes. If you're trying to recall about any legends in the Feywild specifically, it would be the 1d10 days. But if you're trying to go for the bloodline specifically, like trying to work out the bloodline specifically, it will be the 2d6 weeks.
So Astra's gonna relay this to Milo, Uzok, and Xanis, and ask what would they specifically want to try and learn from this, because the information around identifying about this specific log will receive more information about it, but specific bloodline it may relate to will be a lot more vague.
Xanis
a lot longer.
Yeah. Xanis scratches his chin, looks to Milo. Well, what do you think? I mean, we could just go for this piece of wood. I mean, Uzak seems pretty convinced it has something to do with the other guy, so... Wait. Xanis turns his head to look at Uzak. And, well, I said turns his head and then cranes his neck up, because the height difference. Where did you get this from? And Uzak looks a little confused, but just shrugs and goes, old friend of mine got it for me. Good man. And then Xanis looks back to Milo. Xanis leans in next to Milo. Is it just me, or does it sound like Uzok has met this person before?
Yeah. A little.
I mean, you're the one with the wiser mind. Maybe you can ask Uzok. Either that, or we could just ask her grandma to analyze the thing. But her tea might go cold by the time she's done casting it. Huh.
Well, it could take quite literally 12 weeks if we want something incredibly specific. But I mean, knowing about maybe where this wood came from specifically might be a lot of use if we need to travel to the Feywilds to find this person.
I guess, but I guess it might be worth coming back to this later, because at least we know that we've got kind of a lead that this is gonna be that this has come from the Feywild, which means that maybe they're there. It seems like Yuzok knows a little bit more than he's shared with us, so maybe if we ask Yuzok about it and then come back to your grandmother later, because then, you know, we'll have a bit more of a, I guess, a bit of a better idea as to what question we can ask, in case it does end up taking, 12 weeks.
Yeah. We can also see what the others may have found.
That makes sense. Right. Well, it was lovely to see you again, Milo's granny.
You can just call me Astra, Xanis.
Yes. Xanis just kind of smiles with a cheeky little grin on his face and basically grabs Yuzok by the arm and starts leading him out of the garden. Where Yuzok...
Astra looks down at the wood that's obviously been left with her. So I'm like, did you come to a decision?
Sorry. This mental image is hilarious. Xanis turns his head back to Astra and Milo. Yeah, we will be back to ask you questions later. I need to interrogate this large man, because he may know more about the thing that we're looking for, and that way we don't end up getting you stuck in a 2 to 12 week casting time for a spell that we could probably get the information out of this big lug beforehand. Come on, Milo.
Then. Do you want the log back then, or do you want me to keep it for now and come back later?
As you say that, Yuzok basically lifts his arm up, lifts Xanis off the floor, comes back, like, his hoofed feet kind of clop along the cobblestone path that you took to get up here, and just very, very gently takes the log. Yuzok, keep log. Log very important.
Well then, safe travels. Oh, and Milo dear, I sent a letter to your auntie a few days ago. Obviously no response just yet, but thought you should know. Thanks, I guess. I'll see you later, Gran. See you later, Milo. Milo leaves. And Astra goes back to sipping her tea.
Understandable. Do you reckon it's the weird tea from last campaign?
Oh, it definitely is.
The mystery herb tea. Smile.
Not sus.
Not sus at all. Meanwhile, in the library, things are going interestingly, as Alec, Kay, and Gelda are currently hunting through the Sleeping Wolves library, which is comically expansive. There are so many different books here of so many differing varieties, it's insane. Oh, right. Let's actually sit up and arch my back a bit so I can vocalize normally. So, whilst you are here, I'm assuming you are looking for more leads.
Yeah.
Okay, so, would you like to roll me an investigation check, please? I'm going to roll one for Kay, and I'm going to roll one for Gelda. That's 20.
Natural 20. Ooh.
Okay.
That's investigation, did you say?
Yes.
It's a 29 with a natural 20.
Ooh. So it's a 29. Alec rolled a 29.
Dorify. Cool.
K got 23, and Gelda got 19. So the three of you, go searching through this massive library, and as you're hunting about, Gelda kind of gets distracted by a book about rubber ducks. Specifically, tiny rubber ducks and the best places to hide them. But Kay finds a book, and Alec, you find a book, a very specific book that looks quite old and dusty.
Okay. What's in the book?
So as you take the book off the shelf and you open it up, it's written in a language you are not the most familiar with. Off the top of my head, I'm trying to remember what it is. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. It is written in a very old form of Abyssal.
I know Abyssal.
And
I am familiar with this language.
It's quite an old form. It's quite an old like method of writing it, so it's not entirely clear to start off with. But once you work out, oh yeah, this is Abyssal, it makes plenty of sense. And as you're reading through it, it talks about a mass culling of angels done by as they try to basically wrench this sword from a warrior, and this mass destruction of the heavens as they send their armies to claim this particular blade. And it's kind of vague, but it sounds cool because it's destruction of angels, and that the little demonic part of you, or specifically the infernal part of you, kind of finds it amusing, somewhat. But it mentions a very powerful wizard named Umbralosis, and his last name.
Umbralosis?
Yep. But his last name strikes you as very familiar, as it's kind of a mixture of many different languages thrown together. But you do pick out the word Elven in there, and it mentions very vaguely about some of the different things that this very powerful wizard did a while ago. And as you're kind of reading through this, you get bumped into by a young man who looks at you and very awkwardly scratches the back of his head.
You alright there?
Let me find it. 2 seconds. I am being special.
Understandable. I will vibe the elevator music that plays 24/7 in my head.
Understandable. Okay, there we go. Oh, yes, I'm perfectly fine, thank you. I was I've been looking for a particular someone. I've been hunting doppelgangers recently, and I'm looking for a particular one. But thank you anyway. And he kind of brushes you off. And you notice that his skin is kind of green, a tannish green in color, as he walks down the hallway and out of the library.
That was weird. Anyway, any more in this book?
So you're about to go back to reading it when Kay comes around the corner. Ah, Alec. So Gelda's reading about rubber ducks, and ooh, what's that book you're reading? And she kind of peeks over your shoulder.
Do you know any Abyssal?
Huh? Abyssal? No. But hang on. Let me see. That's 22, so yes. She manages to pick apart some of the information as she's reading it.
I mean, I could just tell you what it says.
True, but I like reading. It's
Yes, me too.
I'm a nerd. Huh.
Me too.
Hey, do you notice this bit at the bottom? And she points to a section that's completely blank to you.
What, the blank section?
That's not blank. And you look at it again. It's blank.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not. Can you not see this? Can you not see the runic written in the bottom of this book? And she slaps the book with the back of her hand, and it's still blank.
No, I cannot. Unless you're playing a prank on me.
Okay. And Kay very quietly whispers the word cheese. She turns around, and there's Gilda standing there with a smile on his face. Of course. Of course that works. I tried talking to you earlier, and then I say something random, and you appear. Well, yes, I would imagine. Anyway. Tell me, what's that? Oh! And he looks at the book that Alec is currently holding. Say, that's quite interesting. What is that book?
I realise I do not remember the title of the book, so I look at the title of the book.
And as you close the book, there is no title on the front. There is space for what appears where the title should be, but it's just got a line. A very fancy cursive line where text should be, but is not.
Okay, is there secret runic text on the front of this book that I can't read?
Kay just lets out a very quiet sigh. Yes, there is writing on the front of the book.
Fuck. Oh, that's so annoying. How do I see it? I want to see it.
Hold on. And Kay takes a moment. Okay, let me very carefully read this. The bit at the bottom of this says that this Umbrellosis guy was the one that originally made the bloodline? Hang on a minute, that doesn't make sense. Anyway. That,
Continue.
It mentions something about the Elmven bloodline being very close to one of the existing members? They always stay around one of the bloodline members? What? That's really confusingly worded. Gelda, can you read this? Let me have a look. Nope. Just blank page. You're
I'm
kidding.
glad it's not just me then.
Well, you are certainly quite the unique individual.
You too.
Thank you. And Gelda just has a very clueless smile on his face. Anyhow, it seems like Kay could read something in this book that I can't, but we know that they're close to one another. And you hear these loud footsteps coming back up the hallway as the young man that bumped into you earlier locks eyes with you, Alec. Hello again. Did I hear your name right? Are you Alec? Alexander Emil?
Yeah.
Are you a doppelganger? I swear.
No, I'm the real one.
That's exactly what one of
That
the...
is exactly what a doppelganger would say. I guess it will just have to be a mystery.
And you notice that a spell is cast.
What kind of spell?
Not one
A
that...
spell I'd
No.
want to dispel?
Probably not.
Okay, cool.
Huh. Well... You are certainly emitting a magic aura, but it is not one of a... Okay, well, you're definitely not a doppelganger, because you're able to emit chronomancy, so... Well, I guess I should introduce myself. My name is Aralus. I'm a green mage. Although, judging by my attire, it'd be quite obvious. You know, green skin, pointy ears, green shawl.
Nice to meet you. Do you know where my doppelganger is?
No. But I will say I did see some quite suspicious activity in Batzel a few weeks ago. Although nothing
No,
really came
I
of
think that was me. I think that was
Oh.
me. I was there. Yeah, sorry.
Hmm.
That was just me being suspicious.
I see. Well, if you happen to... Something... And he takes a moment to completely analyze your face. Right, well, I'll keep your name in my memory.
Me too.
And the last name is Emeraldus, in case you need to look me up. Aralus Emeraldus. And he just waltzes off. And Kay looks at the person walking away, looks at Alec, looks at the book. It looks at Alec. Do you have any idea what the hell that was?
Some guy? I don't know.
That was possibly the most confusing exchange I've seen in a while. Anyway, we've kind of
Very
got
true.
some information. And Gelda very quietly pipes up. Well, I'd like to point out that I found a very useful book. It's about rubber ducks.
Ooh, show!
And he pulls up the book and turns it, and it's full of pictures of tiny rubber ducks.
Excellent.
Anyhow, we should probably get back to the guild room. Perhaps the others have gotten some information while we've been examining.
Let's go.
So as the group kind of starts coming back in, Penton, Alice, and Mira, you see the other 6 members of your group return. Kay looks rather baffled, but it's just kind of there, and the group regathers.
So, what did you find?
Who are you asking that to?
In general, out
Okay.
loud.
Uh,
Whoever wants to pipe up first can pipe up first.
Well, we know who the name of the Innsbruck is. Marlo speaks up. Do you recognise the name Carmina? The singer, that is.
Rings a bell, yes. Do we happen to know where they are?
Mirror.
I know Carmina.
Oh no.
Mira knows Carmina.
I'm not like Percy or anything, but Mum really yeah, my Mum really likes her music, like a lot. Like she has posters of her and like all of her albums. She really likes Carmina.
Oh my gosh, that's like really crazy fangirl level.
No, she was completely not. She wasn't completely not, but I don't think Dad liked it that much. Again,
Dad-
Dad didn't really like anything at all.
Yeah, I was about to say, Mira, your dad does not seem like the person to like anything that isn't bloodshed and murder.
Oh. How
Yeah.
pleasant.
So point being,
And having children.
Okay.
are you trying to say I shouldn't exist?
Yes.
Good point. Anyway, yeah, Mum really likes Carmina. Like a lot.
Huh. So, what I'm gathering from this is that we do know where one of the bloodlines is.
Yes.
Okay, so we know where one of them is, and Papa Wolf mentioned that... Oh god, this is a headache. Papa Wolf mentioned that, you know, we should be able to find them via that. I was talking to Yuzok, and Yuzok, annoyingly enough, has met the Silver bloodline because they're friends, and he's in the. It's a guy who is in the Feywild of all places.
Eh?
The guy's called Sarok Silver. He's in the Feywild, and that's gonna be a headache because Fey spirits.
So we gotta go to a whole new dimension.
For one of them, yes.
Great.
Also,
Plane shift will once again be useful.
that's a good point, Alec. So we can go to Levias, we can go to the Feywild, we can go to Zelaquin, or we can go to Ishtath. Which is, I'm assuming, where you're from, Alec. It's where Papa Wolf said a lot of time mages go to study.
Unfortunately, it is.
Okay. Did you, Alec or Gelda find anything in the library?
Yeah, I'll let Alec share this info.
Okay, so I found this book in Abyssal, and it talks about, I don't know, killing angels and some sword or something, a blade, and then some guy called Umbralosis or something. Also, it has something in Runic, except I can't see the Runic, and neither can Gelda, so... Don't know what that means.
Kay just looks at everyone else. Yeah. Can any of you actually read Runic? Or is it just me?
I think it's a you thing.
Just you, my lord.
Yeah, for now.
Okay, so nobody else can see this, and Kay reaches up to take the book from Alec.
Can anyone see it?
Are you giving her the book? She's standing there holding her hands up
Oh,
to take the book.
yeah, yeah, of
Just
course.
raise
I'll
it
give-
higher.
Yeah, no, I'll give her the book. That's fine.
Wow, Alec, arsehole.
She takes the book from Alec, turns around, opens that page, and as expected, it's completely blank. Apart from Mira, you kind of see something on there,
Miwa.
but it's really hard to make it out. Would you like to roll me a linguistics check, please?
Sure thing, Babs. Oh dear. I'll take my 10 on that. Language. That linguistics.
Yes.
29.
That's successful. It is the name of... Oh, God. It's the name of your grandfather. Not your great-grandfather, your grandfather.
Lyric.
The other one.
Who's
Would it
the
be
other
great-grandfather? Oh, no, it'd be...
one? Which about Kazaroth?
We're talking about the layer underneath that.
Oh, him. Step-granddad.
Technically.
Okay. Yes.
But yeah, so as you're looking in this book, you see the name of your would you call him favorite? The one that you see more more consistently of your grandfather Gareth Elmvan. And it makes you feel really stupid for a moment. Because hang on a minute. Isn't that the same name as one of the bloodlines you're looking for?
Oh my god. Guys. Yeah. I know this one. It's my step-granddad.
Your step granddad.
My step-granddad.
Do share for those who have no idea who you're talking about.
Yeah, so my grandma, Edith, I love her. Yeah, she remarried at one point to a barefoot called Gareth, and he's super cool, and that's his name.
Gareth Elmvan?
Uh-huh.
So, do you know where he is?
Do I?
No, you don't.
I don't. No, unfortunately not. They keep their business on the lowdown.
Then do you have any idea who would have contact with either Edith or Gareth?
Do I have any idea who would have contact? Yeah. I mean, I guess Godfather might know. He'd probably be the best person. He knows a lot of things.
That was actually about to hit you through the screen. I was about to swear at you.
Mira dies. The end. Never mind. So, it seems as though you may need to arrange a meeting with the Guildmaster to share some of this information, get some information, and potentially have a bit more information elaborated on as to what the hell is currently happening. So, as a collective group, what would you like to do from here?
Go see Lupus.
It's loopy poopy time.
No, loopy poopy. Terrible.
I am going to murder you.
Upsetting.
You do that on a daily basis.
More than usual. I'm going to murder you, and then murder you again.
Murder you /
Extra
platonic.
murder.
Yes, double layered. Anyway, so you end up
For
as a group.
chocolate.
like all 9 of you, well, I guess 10 of you if you want to include Fenrir as a separate entity in this situation, you all end up heading straight towards the Guildmaster's office. And as you're walking out of the guild room, you very loudly and annoyingly hear down the hallway, "Now, look, it's all of those idiots again. Now, look." And you can see Shalnar looking out of the doorway, and you can hear the audible sigh of disappointment from Nelissa come out of Group M's room. Like
Milo
it's loud.
waves. Milo waves.
I also wave.
I flip him off.
Shalnar waves, and Shalnar looks at Penton, and you can hear very loudly echo down the hall, "Now, the dirty little orphan rabbit just flipped me the bird. Get the phone, my sister needs to know this."
God.
The bird.
Penton, you're putting us in danger.
Penton's putting himself in danger.
I'm
Us.
also an orphan. It's us.
Flashback to the, "Oh shit, I'm an orphan" in the chat.
Yeah.
Oh, the moment of realization is always the best. Okay, so
Yeah, especially
Yeah, but
when she
just-
comes and I realise I'm about to die. That will be the best moment of realization.
I mean, it is a terrifying moment when Shalnar's sister comes. Anyway,
Yeah, she comes.
oh lord, she coming.
Shush. Shush.
Hey,
Shush.
I mean as in turning up. I don't know where your brain went.
No, I'm
Yikes.
quite sure.
Ah! Fuck! Anyway, moving swiftly onwards.
Uh,
Well done.
goodbye.
It's that
You
time
are
of the session again.
Wee woo,
The part
cheesecake.
that no one will
It's
ever
silly
wear.
event. It's silly events time.
Ooh, 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 ooh.
Ooh.
Oh,
I can make note
It's
because I
that
have a
time of the
time.
session where we say random stuff.
Team tail.
Anyway. So you end up going back to see the Guildmaster, who is once again having a briefing with one of the guild members. Except from instead of this time it being Brutus in here, it is someone else. But it is another deerfolk with a large sniper rifle strapped on his back. And Lupus looks to the 9 people that are now standing in his doorway, lets out an audible sigh. Okay, another briefing that I'm going to need to put on hold. What have you found? What have you done?
We have found so much.
Okay.
Someone else start.
We figured out who the Bard, Druid, Time Mage, and Scrawler bloodlines are, and rough locations of where they are. Green Mage ain't got a fucking clue. We believe the Druid's probably in the Feywild.
Great.
Alright.
Oh,
Yeah.
I met a green mage earlier today. Is
What?
that?
You what?
Yeah.
You know that this was information you probably should have given beforehand?
Yes, but like, it's better if I say it now than never. This
my
guy ran into me, and then he started talking about doppelgangers, and then he ran off, and he came in and said my full legal name, and then told me his name, and told me he's a green mage, and then said some other stuff, and then left.
And what was his name?
Aurolus Emeraldus?
Right. Okay. Lupus looks to the deer folk that is currently sitting in the chair in front of his desk. Sorry, Delta. I know you've just come back and you wanted to get the debriefing done so you can go and bathe and go do your tinkering, but I will need to come back and finish this briefing later, so you'll have to delay your mission a couple of days. Anyway, if you wouldn't mind leaving. And completely silently, Delta gets up and walks out the room. Lupus then turns to the group. Right. I'm going to lock the door, and we'll go into the quiet area again. And so Lupus basically locks the door and escorts you all into the same location where you were previously.
Who's that? Who was that?
Who?
Saying to Lupus. Asking Lupus who that was.
Oh. Lupus looks at Fenton as you're going down this staircase. It's kind of like a little spirally staircase. That was Delta. He's one of the guild members. Quite a nice chap.
Are we being an inconvenience?
He certainly is on the eyes.
Contain yourself, please. Unlike Ziffy, Delta will not hesitate to put a bullet between your eyes.
I don't think Uncle Ziffy hesitates that much anyway.
You'd be surprised, sweetheart. You'd be surprised.
Yeah, we're all still alive, so.
I mean, he
Somehow.
shot me with a dart. That was fun.
That was your own
You
fault.
brought 2 werewolves to the guild.
As I said, justified.
Okay, anyway, back into here. And Lupus settles you all down around this table, this room. The room, you're back in basically the little crystalline looking room again. Okay, so. Give me what you got.
Okay, so the bard in Carmina,
Yep.
druid, the Silver Alliance, some is Sarak Silver, who we believe to be in the Feywild.
Yep.
Usopp knows them.
Of course he does.
The Time Mage is Yuiki. Alex Home.
Refnasa Yuiki,
That
the
one.
village elder from Ishtar.
That's a mouthful of a name.
I mean, he is a banga. Well, I'm annoyed that I didn't put 2 and 2 together sooner. Anyway, carry on.
And then the scholar, Mira, said that Gareth's last name was Elmvan,
Oh,
and was Edith's husband. Is Edith's husband.
yes.
Oh, and we found that name in a book. So,
Yes.
a book that I found. It was in Abyssal.
Except that
And I
specific
speak
part
Abyssal.
was in Runic.
No, I think that.
No, the Gareth part was in Runic.
Oh, the Gareth part was
Yeah,
in it. Yeah.
I was able to see my step-granddad's name.
I wish I could read Runic.
I wish Alice.
Okay, so that's a lot of useful information then. I have found a couple of interesting developments. Well, if you want to call them interesting developments. Okay, so from what I've worked out, if you are correct, Carmina should be quite easy to, you know, I guess get hold of, for lack of better wording. Because she's on Levias with Mr. Zilhorn, as I'm going to refer to him, seeming as none of you really know him, but yeah. The Feywild is a place I'm not going to be sending any of you anytime soon, because, oh boy. Trust me, you would not last 5 seconds with the number of satyrs lumbering around that bloody place.
Okay, fine.
Respectfully, you would not be coming back out.
Yeah, that just seemed like the most fun one, though.
True, but it's also the most dangerous. Well, second most dangerous.
We'll save that.
The Zelaquin, where Roses? That is something that you keep to yourselves, or I will personally find you and force you into a 1v1 fight with me at
You
full
don't need
strength.
to find us. We're right here.
Yes, I know. But I'm stating that so that all of you are aware to keep your mouths shut about Rose's location. Got it?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Side eye Xanax.
And Lupus's fat, like, canine teeth are bared as he says that, making a very aggressive affirmation of that statement. We can deal with Hrefnaso later, because at the very least he's on Canaria with... Oh, not Canaria, sorry, on Karos. God. Sorry, I'm thinking of home. At the very least he's on Karos and not in any danger of being killed anytime soon. You said the green mage that you met earlier, his last name is Emeraldus, yes? Or something
Yep.
on that line.
That's quite funny because it sounds like Emerald and he's a green mage.
Yes, the irony that we have literally a few minutes ago, I was just about to send Delta out because we found that that was the name of the green mage bloodline.
Epic.
Marla
Awesome.
puts his face in his hands. When I said that, unless he just appears on our doorstep, I didn't mean it literally.
You just ran into me. That's amazing.
Well, that was an incredibly short mystery, wasn't it? Good work, everybody.
The
Just
same
walk
person
into
that
me.
the same person that has more than likely left the building.
Well, I mean, I could just sending him if you want. Like, hey, we need you to come in.
Were they even on good terms with you when you met them?
Seemingly. Fine. I don't... They weren't angry at me or anything.
He thought you were a doppelganger. That's not
Well-
good terms.
Well, I mean, now he knows I'm not, so...
Of course, but a doppelganger would say that.
Didn't he... He cast a spell and decided that I wasn't...
Yeah,
That I-
but
yeah.
he could also have just said that because he may have noticed something that was a bit off. You never know.
Do you think I'm a doppelganger?
You could always message
No
him and
comment.
taunt him and say that you are a
No
doppelganger, and if
comment!
you fold it, then that'll
You're
definitely bring
acting
him back.
pretty sus.
Alice,
Gay
Yeah.
sex.
you are also sus. You
Gay
can't say
Hey,
much.
how am I sus?
Oh,
There we go,
Alice,
I've
you're
proved
right.
it. Also, my dagger. I take my dagger out. See? I'm not a doppelganger. Beep boop.
Yeah, I'm messing with you. But it's quite funny to see how offended you got.
I'll chop off your head
Well,
if you think I'm sus.
Obviously, I get offended when people think I'm an imposter. What?
Kay looks
No,
at
that's
Alice
not
and crunches her knuckles. Is that
It
an
was a joke,
invitation
it was
to a
a joke,
fight?
it was a joke.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Back off. And Kay very politely clears her throat. Anyway, as the Guildmaster was saying... Oh, thank you, Kay. Anyway. The Elven Bloodline. I may or may not know where they are, because, well, long story short, myself and Ziffy visit them quite frequently. So I will be sending you there.
Well,
Where is there?
Tell me, have you ever been to the island of Ferren?
no.
Have I? Have I been to the island of Ferren?
Probably not.
Probably not. No.
Well, I'll be sending you to the island of Ferren. However, It is unfortunate that you're not running around with a full group. But anyway,
Do you want to come with us?
unfortunately I can't do that.
Oh, that'd be fun though, wouldn't it?
It would, but at the same time, I'm not certain on that. It may not be a good idea.
What if that Delta guy comes with us? That would be nice.
No? Because I'm about to send him the other side of the planet. Literally the
What
other
if-
side of the planet.
I had to try.
What if the green mage comes with us?
What green mage? We don't have a green mage here.
And that's
I just
available.
talked
You
about
could
him.
probably bring him here. You could.
The one
you
that
met
thought
him.
Alec
You
was
could
sus,
use your message
apparently.
ability,
The one
and
that
then say that
literally
you are a
left.
doppelganger, and then he'll come
Also,
running.
how does he just know about my doppelganger situation? Like, have people been?
Sorry, I
Considering
put it on Twitter.
What?
Not a canon thing you just said.
Lupus looks at Mira. Mira, please tell me you didn't staple it to the back of a chocobo and let it run around town. Please tell me you did not.
No, I didn't. No, I was just being silly.
Okay.
Unless he like knows about.
That's what Twittering
I'm
is.
confused.
Yeah.
Considering that that's the name. Considering that that's the name of God. Considering that's the name of Freya's chocobo, I don't think she would be too impressed if you stapled something to the back of her bird. And considering that, she's not exactly the kindest Burmesian I've ever met. She can be quite harsh. I don't think she'd appreciate that.
Plus, I could just stick it to Clucky the Second. I'm sure he'd make a ruckus of it.
Whoops.
Whoopsie poopsie, did we make a fucky wucky woo? No, we didn't.
No.
Nope. Just confusion.
No two name drops in a session. We can't
How
do
many
that.
name drops can we have by the end of this session? Let's make a
No more
No.
name drop.
Right.
Anyway.
If anyone is mean to my character, I drop their full legal name and address.
You don't even
Alright.
know my legal name and address.
I can find it.
Guys.
No, I'm joking.
Good luck.
No.
Try.
Guys, settle down.
I'm settled. I'm down.
I'm gonna put myself down.
Well, I wish I could do that.
Oh,
Anyway.
Very sad.
Blue on my nose.
Lupus looks to the group. Right. Before you end up blowing each other up or something like that, I have some useful information that I've also managed to gather during my spare time. Outside of, having to brief and debrief and gather supplies and things like that for the guild. And sending guild groups off and then returning, whatever. I at the very least have the names of these heirlooms that we're looking for. Whether you'd like me to share them with you, or whether you'd rather just get the other bloodline members together first, well, it's up to you.
There's no harm in telling us, is there?
It's probably best to know in case it does need to come up.
I suppose so, yes. Okay. I don't know what they are, but I only have names. So, Lupus takes a moment to just resettle himself. Okay, so there's the Beacon of the 12 Constellations, Apollo's Nether Song, the Nexus of the Great Magi, the Azure Raven's Soulbreaker, the Infernal's Eternal Rest, Ancestral Blossom, let's see, the Fable's Decimator, the Savior of the Goddess, Phantasmal Swan Song, I think it's the Necromancer one, to make the most sense. There's a pairing of something called the Necrotic Lifebinder, and then the book that we somehow managed to procure, the Annihilating Cataclysm. Then got the Ghostwalker Mooncleaver, the Lunarian Ragnarok, the Converging Endbringer, the Chronomantic Paradox, the Starlight of the Eternal Healer, Umbralosis' Pantheonic Grimoire, and then the Jade Infinity Breaker. That's the names of them that we've managed to dig up. No idea. Well, I can probably guess what some of them are, but it's not completely obvious.
I can guess what the one that says Chronomantic in the title is.
Well,
I can
yes.
guess which one's Umbralosis, considering Umbralosis was the origin of the scroll of Lupine that was in the book you read from Alec.
It's so true.
That's
That's
actually
literally true.
That's something interesting. Would you like me to mess with your whole perception of reality?
No.
Depends what you mean by that.
Yes, 100%.
Why?
Wow, you're very trusting, Benton.
Did you know that, technically speaking, the first ancestors we had that were the great sages each had a gemstone literally shoved inside of their heart, which is why the bloodline powers are able to stick to us mortal beings in the first place.
Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you said heart. I thought that was going somewhere else.
Same.
For fuck's sake.
I was like, damn, that's some dedication.
It's like shoved inside of their heart.
Yeah.
It's the way you phrased it.
Anyway.
Yeah, let's be serious. Let's be serious.
I would send you off directly to Farron, but I will admit I am a little bit concerned about your recent performance, we'll say. I have noticed that things are a little all over the place.
What do you mean?
Which part?
We performed
I mean, no more
adequately.
than usual.
Yeah.
Adequately is certainly a way of putting it, yes.
I literally didn't run at any object or human or person in the entire underwater thing. Surely I've been great.
Well,
You can't really run when you're underwater.
I
That's
was
true.
swimming.
I have other choice words, but I choose not to say them.
Lupus turns his head, looks at Milo, and Milo, you hear a voice in the back of your head. Trust me, I am well aware of what you're thinking. You don't need to say it.
You're getting hit with dark.
Lupus very calmly sits down. Tell me, were the situation to occur that you are somehow stranded outside of here, with no possible method of contacting us, what are you going to do if one of you sprints off or one of you ends up falling in the battlefield? Because it seems as though your methods currently are rather lopsided, if I may be so bold as to say.
But I don't think that we took any of those risks. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but like, I didn't sprint into any battlefields like I did previously, you know?
Milo looks at Kay.
Lupus and Kay make eye contact for a brief period. Lupus looks mildly horrified, and then looks at Alice, looks at Milo.
Why are we all looking at each other like this?
No comment.
So... I don't even know how to word that. Let's say I send you over to Farron. You realize that as of current, there is a thunderstorm currently over Zelaquin. I can't send you over to Levias because, dear God help me, if you happen to encounter any of the stronger elementals up there. Flashback to the last time I had to deal with one of those things. No thank you, I do not want to be dealing with a storm elemental again. They were bloody annoying. I can't send you to the Feywild because I don't think any of you aside from maybe Milo and Kay would come back in one piece.
I mean, I would. I'd just say shift right out.
Not what I meant, Alec. I highly doubt that Valfern would be so kind as to let you all walk out without his subjects getting involved. Not exactly the best ruler. Which... I don't really want to send you over to Karos, and I can't send you directly to Zeliquin. So, for the moment, you'll be staying in the guild. Unless you want to head to Farron while the storm is there. It'll be a little bit of a bumpy ride, but I'm sure things will go fine.
I mean, it should be over in a day or so, right?
Mira.
Question.
Yes.
What does Milo know about other continents that wasn't 12 Gate Island?
Aside from the fact that Zeliquin is basically the, what I'm gonna call the Seath graveyard of the islands,
Oh god.
I would say the only thing that Milo would really know is from, like, Carl talking about Strencan, the land of ever-falling rain, and that's just the fact that it's always raining there, 24/7.
Oh, okay.
So, and Lupus looks to you all. I can send you over to Farron, or you can stay here and train up for a little while. I will give the option to you. Though if you do want to head off to Farron, I will be more than willing to basically pay for the airship that normally comes to Lenvar, that heads over there. But I do want to test your strength. Maybe not in a fight. But I want each of you to make up your own mind here. Because there is a risk during this storm. So you can wait it out and train, or you can head straight there. It depends on how eager you would be to jump on any potential leads.
You can wait it out and train, I think.
Pretty eager, but if it's going to be potentially life-threatening, then I'm prepared to wait.
It makes sense to wait a little bit. We just got back as well.
Okay. And
But I want to do it now.
We'll
No.
get there, Alice. It'll be fine.
I think
Okay.
training a little would be a lot better, but also the fact that we have Gelder and Yuzok now. We've, as a group of 7, have been working together, but Gelder and Yuzok are new entities to understand how they fight.
Ooh, yes,
That's
we
how
need to
they
get
work.
used to new team dynamics.
well,
No, more like they need to get used to us.
More get used
No
to
comment.
you, Alice. No,
yes,
I suggest we stay.
well, I do like the energy you have, Alice, but I don't agree. I think that you'll find that you'll underperform in comparison to me. Isn't that right, Fenrir? Yeah, I guess. And Fenrir just does not look like she wants it's a male, fuck. Fenrir does not look like he wants
Yeah.
any part of this debate. Lupus scratches his chin for a moment and looks at the group. Well, if you did want to try testing out your I guess your new allies, and I'm sure your skills, I could set up a combat simulation for you. If that would take your fancy.
What, against just some grunts, or...?
Hell yeah! Fighting!
Well, I'll leave it up. I'll leave it up to your discussion. But I could give you something more on the stronger side, something more familiar, like I don't know, maybe a behemoth or something like that. Seeming as a, well, it'd be something more local, I guess.
No enemies hidden in the behemoths.
No.
Wait,
Hopefully.
did Lucas
No.
know that we found Mace?
Yes.
I think we've mentioned it.
Yeah, Alistair and Gelda delivered that information back.
Okay, cool.
Oh yeah, that was an event.
So it's up to you, really. I can give you something strong. I can give you something, what I'm going to call bulky. Or I can give you something more local. And Lupus basically pulls up this.
The strongest, most difficult one. Yeah.
And
Milo shakes
not,
his
not
head.
now.
I mean, maybe it's best to do a combination of the two. Maybe have it be a large, threatening monster that we all have to take out together, and then some more intelligent enemies, because we're going to have to fight differently depending on what we're fighting.
Well,
So basically, two simulations, maybe shorter ones. I don't know.
Lupus pulls up a screen, seemingly out of nowhere, and turns it to the party. Well, I've got 3 options here for you that are quite easy. You notice that they are all very short-formed. Either way, I think this would be something relatively easy, or at least bearable for you all. If you do want to test your skills in the battlefield a bit. Though to be forewarned, I've not given you anything easy, by any means. But considering there are a large quantity of you, it's up to you.
I can't identify what that first fucking one is. God damn it.
Lunannon.
Godfather, can you explain what those are, please?
Lupus
They're a
looks...
little bit too abbreviated.
Well, if you insist. The first one is a remnant of my past. The second is a typical behemoth. And the third is something quite strong that you might encounter whilst on the island of Zeliquin.
Well, if it's something we might encounter, that'll probably be the best one.
The third one.
Yeah.
Let's see if I've got
Yeah, I guess it can't help to be prepared.
So you prefer the Seath monster then?
Guess so.
Let's fight them all.
No,
No.
A
Alice.
wall? Why do you want to
Them
fight a
all.
wall?
No, not a wall. Them all.
Oh,
No.
no.
Oh.
Okay. Right. I don't have the token for this. Oh,
Time to actually engage my brain cells.
Oh, we're doing it now?
Yep. You chose to do battle. Ha ha
Lucas,
ha.
get used to combat for 2 weeks until you get used to your new sheets. Lupus 2 hours in.
You could have said no.
Me,
I'm
who also
so-
offered the option to say
Guys,
no.
can we do a little character bonding and then do this next session?
Yeah, please.
No,
Love
fuck
that.
it. We're doing it now. Fuck you all.
Fuck me yourself, coward.
Alice wants to, but the human behind Alice doesn't want to.
No balls.
Noble. So true.
Can we put a pin in it and we can come back to it, right? Won't be too bad.
No. I'm joking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lupus nods. Oh yes, I'm not saying to do this now. God no.
Good.
My intention is to set this up for you at a later point. It'll be your tester, if you will, for before you leave.
Yay.
Oh, okay, thank you. I'm cutting broccoli.
You're, what the fuck?
How the hell did you just say that? Broccoli.
Broccoli?
What was broccoli?
What do you mean, what's broccoli?
It's broccoli.
It's broccoli.
Broccoli.
No, it's
Break-
broccoli, not
Let's
broccoli.
talk about
broccoli.
broccoli, okay?
It's broccoli. I'm laughing, it's broccoli.
Broccoli.
It's broccoli.
Brocky.
Where are you from that you say broccoli? There's another O in there. It's broccoli.
Broccoli.
Actually, it's
Yeah,
Oji.
broccoli, not broccoli.
I've always said broccoli.
Broccoli.
I was
Sorry,
about.
I'm part American where we drop syllables.
I was
Totally.
about
Okay,
to literally.
no.
I was about
It's
to
broccoli,
literally
come
say
on.
where you're
Guys,
from, then I
let's
realised we're on
not
stream.
talk about how we pronounce broccoli. We can discuss this
No, not
after
you
session,
two.
Team
please.
broccoli.
It might just be a region from where you live. Let's move
not mention
on
where we
before
live.
we start
Thank
name
you.
dropping places we live.
Viewers,
Thank you.
viewers, how you say broccoli in the VOD chat?
Please don't.
And your full address.
No.
Well, in
Sorry,
Scandinavia, we
do
say
not
broccoli
do
like
that.
this.
I'm joking.
Guys, please.
Very obviously joking.
Guys, should we cook some broccoli?
What time is it?
God, the temptation to just throw you straight into combat. God, the temptation.
Loopy poopy, what
Do
time
it,
is it?
it's
Darn.
fine, do it.
I will just bend space and. No, I won't.
I will bend you.
Please don't. I'm so
You've already done it
breakable.
once, don't do it again.
I'm so breakable. Please don't bend me.
We need. I do not want to have to go to IKEA, whatever the IKEA version in this world is, and have to get another deck chair.
Snap. Anyway, Lupus
Kia.
just waves you out the room. Right. Out you go. Come on, I've got more important things to deal with than you all bickering. Please.
Okay, have a nice day.
Bye bye.
And you are all ushered out of the room.
We sure are.
And so you are.
Is there a lake nearby?
There is a lake nearby, yes.
Mira,
Yeah.
do you want to practice a skill that I haven't practiced in a long time?
What do you mean?
Do you want to go fishing?
Maybe not right now.
No,
Maybe
come
another
on.
time.
Okay, I'm bringing Milo. Milo, we're going fishing.
No, I think not.
Alec, we're going fishing.
No.
What? Why does no one want to go fishing? Why does
Caleb,
no one like me anymore?
why does nobody want to go fishing with me? Cry. I don't know. That was really funny.
Why does no one like me anymore? I live for 1 week and everyone doesn't like me.
That was impressive. The amount of people just went, nah, fishing,
just went,
nah,
No.
fishing. To be fair, you
I'm
all did
just
just get back from a
party
mission
idea.
being underwater.
Yeah, I've seen enough water for now.
What's fishing?
I don't wanna fish.
Okay,
Why are you
so
so desperate to go fishing?
because reasons, I guess. Fish. Blub, blub. Sorry, I'm really not helping.
Oh my god.
Milo is going to start speed.
Speed.
He's
No,
going
not the drugs. Stop taking so many.
Milo
He's so
snorts.
sick of Alice.
He's taking too many of those
Milo, would you
fishing
be okay if I joined you in that?
Run.
Same.
Anyway,
So-
Milo starts running away.
Okay,
Bye, Mimi. Have fun.
where are you going?
Who fucking knows? I'm planning to go to the marketplace, so I'm running to get out of the guild before Alice comes and finds me.
Ooh.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay. What the hell is coming out of you?
I've had like 3 ideas at once, and my brain shot down all 3 of them at the same time.
Do you want to try that again?
Well, my brain went, how about I talk to Yuzog? Then how about I talk to Jelda? How about I talk to Kay? No.
I have an idea of what I want to do.
Okay. So, ideas. What are
Guys,
you
should we
doing?
go baking?
No.
Oh my
While
goodness,
I'm
what
running
do you
off.
want to do?
Can I say what I'm going to do?
Yes, go for it, because nobody else has
Okay,
settled on what they
I
want to do.
am going to cast Sending and talk to Arolus.
So,
Can I do that?
yep, you cast
Will he
it,
let me?
and it gets dispelled.
Bastard! I cast it again.
It gets dispelled.
He's gonna run out of MP eventually.
Balls, that sucks. Why doesn't anyone talk to me?
It's your doppelganger.
Sure.
He's my doppelganger, fuck!
I've decided my plan of action.
Okay.
I'd like to go find Suzanne.
Okay, so Mira, you're leaving the room to go find Susan. Okay, this is gonna be an experience.
Oh, I want
I
to
should
go
probably
find
sell
Susan
this
too.
power stuff that I've just had on me this entire
Can I,
time.
Maria, can I come
Sure.
with you?
I guess if you want.
Excellent.
Okay, so Alec and Mira are
Susan
going to go
time.
find Susan.
Susan, Susan.
Alice, what are you doing?
Well, I keep suggesting ideas and no one wants to do them with me. So,
The only
can I
person
go
left
talk
is
to
like
Susan?
So what is the plan then? What are you going to do?
Can I join Mira?
Maybe
And
it's
Alex.
best you do something else.
What? What? What, Mira? I thought we were friends.
We are just maybe you should think about something.
Please take me with Susan.
No, Alec and I need to have a talk with her.
Oh, saucy.
Mm-mm.
Mira X
Guys,
Susan? Question
I
mark?
understand. Nobody likes me anymore. I've broken up with my. Why did I break up with him? Now I'm confused. Now no one likes me. People liked me when I was taken, and now people don't like me when I'm single Alice. So I'm gonna go for a walk by myself. An angry walk.
Can I just look at Kay and just dismissively shake my head? It's like she really
I think
doesn't
we're
get
all
it.
Sure.
I think we're all dismissively shaking our heads.
She just doesn't get it. She left the room actually. Is she gone?
I've left. I'm going on an angry walk.
She
Okay.
just
so-
doesn't really get that she's the problem, does she?
Okay, so the only person left in the room is Penton.
No, Penton left the room a while ago.
Oh,
The
okay.
thing left in the room was the illusion.
Oh! Okay!
Indeed. Mm.
Where have you gone?
That's how I was going
Sir?
to sell that power stuff, finally, because they're just sitting in my bloody inventory.
Oh, okay. Oh my god. Sorry, I was just
Anyway,
like...
let's go see Susan.
Okay, so Penton's gone off.
Susan!
Penton's gone off. Kay's gone off to go and do her thing. Casual stalking is casual.
Who's she stalking?
No, Jelda's stalking Milo.
Oh. Acceptable.
Actually, wait. hold on.
Acceptable.
Unacceptable!
You two have a thing going. I'm not gonna interrupt that.
Anyway, we're gonna go to the. We're gonna go to Alec and Mira, who have gone to go find Susan. So you go and go and go and go and go, and suddenly there's a Susan. You have to go and knock on the group door for it.
Okay, I don't know how to like knock, so I'm just gonna clap.
You're gonna clap your face into the door.
Yes.
That's how I'm
no,
envisioning this.
No, because I really can't be asked to lean forward in my chair to like knock my fist on my desk.
You
So
don't
just
have
imagine
to.
that this is me knocking.
sounds of something else, but sure. You knock on Group F's door, to which you hear several voices, all of which sound mildly awkward and like, do we answer the door? Do we not? And the door opens. The door opens, and it looks like there is nobody there. And then you look down, and there is this 3-foot feline-looking male. Yeah, what do you want?
Susan.
Susan, please. An audience with the Susan.
Susan! What? What do you want right now? I'm in the middle of doing something. These two weird people want to see you. Yes, okay. And the smaller male walks away, and Susan is now... Susan in her full 8-foot glory is standing in the doorway. Powerful arms crossed over her chest. Oh, yes, you two. What can I assist you with right now? I was in the middle of doing something.
Oh, what were you up to?
Why do you need to know?
Well, we just wanted to see you because, you know, we're a trio of besties. So if there's anything that we can help you with, we'd be happy to do so.
What? I'm sorry, Why are you here?
I
See
wanted to
you.
meet you. Yeah, because we're friends.
Huh. Well, I was about to go to the guild gym to do some workouts. I suppose I can drag you two along with me?
Yeah, that'd be a lot
Sure.
of fun. Just be careful of
Yeah.
Alec because he might get trapped in machinery.
Shut up. No, I won't. No.
And so Susan closes the door temporarily and comes back out in what is essentially what is a combination of a binder around her chest to hold it in place, because a sports bra just breaks on her, a tank top, and a pair of shorts. Well then,
Various jaw drops.
I mean, she is a very powerful lady, so Mira's sexuality comes in.
Yeah.
I'm looking and then I'm not
Remember,
looking.
guys,
I'm looking at the
Vera is not
ceiling.
full straight, so I have to remember where it is. Where is it?
I look up.
Generally heterosexual.
So
I look
she
up
is
to avoid
technically
looking at
submissible.
her, and then I look straight at her boobie.
Triple D's. Yes.
Yum.
And then I look away. Let's go.
We're on a marching trip.
Real.
So you end up following Susan into the guild's gym, and she goes towards a bench. Could you two just sit on this bench, please?
Sure.
And as you seat yourself, the whole bench gets lifted off of the ground, as Susan is now basically using the bench that you two are sitting on as like essentially she is just weightlifting the bench that you two are sitting on without breaking a sweat.
Holy
Whoa.
shit.
I mean, to be fair, we don't weigh that much, do we?
That's true.
So you two are just sitting there.
Then.
Sorry, this is just conceptually funny to me.
I hope Cedric is there and he just like turns around and is like,
No. Cedric is not there, no.
ah,
Mira would be paced if Cedric was in that room.
true.
Okay, so
Strong woman to protect me.
I'm just gonna move away from that section. So we're gonna leave these two helping Susan with her workout by literally just being dead weight, metaphorically speaking. We're gonna go over to Benton. So you are out in the marketplace currently, trying to find someone to sell the thing to. Please roll me an investigation check. Yes, that's how I word.
There's a 19.
Yeah, so was it a power staff or a power rod you're trying to sell?
So it's a power stick of some kind. Hang on.
It's power staff, I just saw it.
Is it?
Yep.
It's power staff.
Okay, so you end up finding this basically a stall selling mage weaponry, and you approach them. And the person standing at this counter.
I would like to preface that I've used movable skill on this thing.
Okay. And standing at this booth is a male orange tiger folk who stands 8 foot in height, whose ears are basically touching against the fabric of his little booth that he's got set up.
Well, hello there, sir.
Yeah, what can I help you with?
Oh, I've just come to sell this power staff that I picked up on my adventures. I was spelunking in a very interesting cave, and I came across this beautiful-looking power staff. It's so shiny and it's barely even used. How much would you like for it?
Well, barely even used means that it's been used at some point, so 3,500 gil for it.
Out of character, is that the actual asking price?
Yes.
Is he not working out how much it costs?
Mm-hmm. Yes. You have not evaluated the person that you are trying to sell this item to, sir.
No, this is not how I wanted to do this at all. Oh well. Yeah, take that for it, why not?
Alright. Give me that, and there you go.
Thank you.
Say, before you head off, have you, you haven't heard of a weapon called Heavenly Predator, have you? Been looking for, this, legendary blade. You haven't heard any head or tail of it, have you? Mr. Illusionist?
If I did, what would you give me for it?
Well, I'd help you find it.
What's its importance to you?
It's a thing that my family has been looking for a couple of generations now. If you happen to hear anything about it, let me know. And I'll try not to expose to the rest of the merchants here that you just tried to scam me with movable skill.
I didn't know such thing. I literally didn't, because I didn't roll it, so...
Is that not literally what you just said you did, though?
Yes, I
didn't
did,
bother
but
rolling
I didn't
it.
actually roll it, so it
Well,
didn't
then-
actually happen.
Well, that's unfortunate. You've stated that you've used it. You should have rolled it. If you're going to pull the illusion spells out, make sure you actually do it.
Okay.
Don't half-ass it. Dab. And it's at this point that you kind of get the idea that this isn't just some old merchant. This is definitely somebody who's had combat experience. A significant amount of it, one might say. But yeah, I won't expose the fact that you tried to just con me out of some extra gil. Now for your run.
Good day.
Okay. Respond. What? Okay. Thanks for the response, smiley face. Okay. Meanwhile, further up in the market, Milo. You are out in the market looking for something, is it?
I'm just looking to get some ammunition.
So, you're going to look for ammunition. Any particular type of ammunition?
Sniper.
Sniper rifle ammunition. Okay. So you end up finding this, quite interesting looking ammo store. And you end up realizing that Gelda has tagged along with you.
Oh,
Well, hello. What are you doing in here?
crap. Is this Jelda talking?
Yeah, sorry, my voice is kind of kaput because I started slouching. Oh my god.
I just wasn't sure if this was the shopkeep, because obviously I'm quite sure I've just entered the building now.
Yeah, sorry, my bad for not clarifying. Gelda pops up behind you. Hello. I was wondering what you were doing in here. Up to much?
What?
I'm asking what you're doing in a gun shop.
To get ammunition?
Gelda was just kind of rocking back and forth on his feet. I apologize if I just kind of followed you. I wasn't sure what to do, and it seemed like things were getting awkwardly tense in there, so I kind of just followed my brain.
It's alright. It's alright. No, I got a new weapon recently.
Oh, interesting. I don't suppose that I could help you out with picking out some good ammo.
Sure. If you want.
Well, I'll just give me a moment. And he wanders off. And you assume he's just here for the sake of being here. So I'm presuming you're going up to the shopkeep now.
Yeah.
Where is it? There it is. So, in front of you is a female Arctic hollow fox, standing about 6'7", so relatively tall lady. Ah, yes. Can I help you?
Hi there. I was wondering if you had any sniper bullets.
Ah, yes. We have quite a few different options, but you must forgive me. It's my first day working here.
It's alright, don't worry.
My boss has said that these go for about 10,000 gil per. I think it's per 10 of them.
Does Milo know the normal cost?
He does not. But as the woman comes out with that, you hear Gilda's voice pop up behind you. Hang on a second, that doesn't seem quite right. Who is your boss? And he's going to... the dice! No!
Oh no.
I rolled the dice that went on the floor, hold on. Slide under the desk. Cheesecake! Break me off some of that. Okay. Is it 24? Well, hold on a moment, that doesn't seem quite right. Isn't it normally half of that price? Anyway, sorry Milo, I should stop hanging around you like a bad smell. I'll see you later.
I'll see you later.
And Gelda just kind of wanders off. As quick as he turned up. Anyway, back to the woman. She looks at Milo and looks at the price number in front of her. Oh, my apologies. Hang on. I'll sell this to you for a little bit cheaper, if that's okay. The boss has been hiking up prices a lot from what I've been told recently.
Ah.
Anyhow,
Yeah, then.
how much did you want anyway? Sorry.
You said that it had different kinds.
Yes. Oh, well, we've got your regular ammunition. We've got a couple of other ones. Hold on. They're a little bit more expensive, but let me find them. They were here a few minutes ago, and now I've lost them.
That was out of character laughter, by the way, if it wasn't obvious.
It was. Don't worry. I got it. Okay, so there was one of these that was quite expensive, and then we had oh yeah, we also had this other type of ammo called and she can't remember the name of it, but she just puts it down in front of you, and one of them is titled as Gaia-powered ammo, and the other one is titled as joint beatdown ammo.
I ain't got a clue what the fuck that is, but Gaia sounds like Earth. Okay then.
If you want, you can make an Arcana check to
Yes.
see what the actual effects are.
Arcana. Yeah, 9.
Is that on the Gaia-powered ammo or the joint beatdown ammo?
On the Gaia.
Okay, that is a success. Because it's so as you're studying it, you remember a very, very long time ago it being mentioned about Gaia-powered weaponry and ammunition being able to shift elements over a short period, which could be interesting to change around different elemental damage types on your weapon. Would you like to roll another Arcana
I
check for the other
did.
one? You did.
That was a 20.
The joint
Total.
beatdown ammo. Okay, 20 total. Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's definitely a success. The joint beatdown ammo, you realise, is a much stronger ammunition, and it seems to have an effect where if one of your allies has struck the thing you are shooting already during that round, okay, you know what, I'm going to stop trying to be fancy. Basically, out of character, we'll say. Basically, joint beatdown ammo increases the damage of your attack by your level if one of your allies has already attacked the same target during that round of combat. But it is a +5. It's a +5 ammunition.
Has the lady said how much these two go for?
2 seconds. Sorry,
It's alright, don't worry.
I am here, there, and everywhere today. My apologies. Do. How much do you plan on purchasing, just in terms of quantity?
If I were to just get a flat, like, normal pack of 10...
For the joint beatdown ammo, it would be 165,000 for the 10 shells. I know, pricey. or for the Gaia-powered ones, it would cost you 10,000 per 10 rounds.
Okay. Give me one moment. As I look at how much I have in my inventory and pull out a calculator.
And then the standard shells are 5,000 gil per 10 rounds.
Yeah. It was 60...
165000.
Yep. Okay. I want to get 10 of the beat down, 20 of the Gaia, and then Jesus, my brain. 30 of the normal, which would be in total. 10. About 200,000? If I've done my maths right?
Give me a couple seconds. As well, I need to do some quick maths. It's 20,000. Yep, that's correct.
Yep.
So you're purchasing that, are you?
Yep, so 10 beat down, 20 Gaia, 30 normal,
Jumble.
200,000 gil total.
Okay. I'm going to put that in my session notes.
I will remove it from my sheet because it's just an easy removing of one number.
Sorry, I'm still giggling at the word jumble honk.
I had 200,000. Yeah. I've removed the money from my loan.
Okay, I will add that in. I'll add that in post-session.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you plan to do while you're here?
Nope.
Okay, so are you heading back to the guild room?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll say thank you to the lady behind the counter before I leave.
Oh yes. So she nods and thanks you for your service and apologizes for the problems.
It's alright.
Penton, are you returning back to the guild room?
Yep.
Okay, so two of you are back. Alec and Mira are still off being bench pressed by Susan. Yuzok's doing whatever Yuzok's doing. She's doing, he's doing. Alice, what are you currently doing? You're out on
I'm
your
going
walk.
on an angry walk.
Are you going anywhere in particular, or are you just storming around the guild? Or are you storming around outside the guild?
What are there any like mysterious places that like maybe we haven't visited or something like that?
What, in the guild or around the guild or
Around the guild.
around the guild? You've got the other guild groups or the other rooms.
Is there a forest?
There is a forest outside of the guild.
Yeah. She's on a hike.
Okay, so you go out hiking into the woods, and the last time you were here, the last time you were in these woods was dealing with your previous companions as werewolves, and when you got attacked by an abaddon that tried to make its way into the town. So it's been a while since you've been here, suffice to say. And as you're wandering through, your mind's kind of rushing and trying to work out if something's off with Mira, trying to work out what the hell is going on.
Nobody likes me, 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 no a tree, nobody likes me, no another tree, nobody likes me, nobody likes me.
As you're like angrily storming your way through the through the bushes, you encounter a wounded man.
Nobody likes me, nobody a man, a man, a man, a man.
And it appears as though he has been brutally beaten by something.
Immediately gets the sword out.
He very quietly and meekly utters out the words, "Help, please."
Who are you? What happened?
Please, help.
Look, I'm not about to heal you if you're then going to kill me, so you better tell me, who are you?
And he's kind of drifting in and out of consciousness, and it doesn't seem like we're going to get another firm answer. You can choose to try and heal this man with a potion or something that you may have on you. Or
I'm gonna rummage through my belongings, see what I have.
Okay.
This is me rummaging, give me a minute. He's not dead. I don't know that I have anything that would like heal with unless someone's dead.
You could try using Transfer Hurts, the positive version, if you have that. Off the top of my head.
Oh no, I only have the hostile one. I have a silver apple though.
Yeah, you could give him one of those, and hopefully he has something that he can use of his abilities to heal himself. Or if
yeah, okay. I'll toss him the silver apple.
So, as you toss the apple to him, he very weakly picks it up and consumes it. And after a few minutes, seems to be a little bit revitalized. And looks
I
up
will
to
say
you.
Alice does have the sword out and pointed at him at all times.
I had assumed as such.
Yeah.
Ah, there we go. Much better. Say, what's your name, love?
My name's Alice. What's your name?
My name is Ares. Pleasure to meet you.
Ares. Interesting. Yeah. Where do you come from?
I come from a town called Agido. And
what are you doing here?
Well, you see, I'm looking for a book.
In this forest? I think you're a bit lost, my love.
Well, you see, it's this book that you can't read. It's got this, what's the word?
A book that you can't read?
Yeah.
Well, that kind of sounds not like a book, if you ask me. Well, I can actually read, I'll have you know.
Well, it's a special kind of book. You see, there's only certain people that can read it, and
Is it an audio book?
No, it's oh, how do I describe it? It's got a really special kind of cover on it. Would you like to roll a history check to see if you can recall any books similar to the description of what he's describing?
Yeah, okay, give me a minute. Oh dear, we didn't roll very high. Now let me find history. Oh my god, I have weirdly good history. That's an 18.
Considering all the drama you have, I'm not surprised you have good history.
Fucking savage. Okay.
Excuse me. This is why I have no friends. They actually don't like me.
That was fucking hell. Okay.
They
Anyway,
don't like me.
the ghostly voice from the beyond exists. Anyway, you do recall a book of the exact nature that this man is describing. The book that Kay was carrying around for a very long time, that nobody could read. Mado tried reading it, couldn't read it. You tried reading it. Loads of other people tried reading it, and they just couldn't understand it. But only Kay and Alistair seemed to read it. That seems kind of suspicious.
So you're looking for a book that you can't read and I can't read. Then why do you care about it?
Well,
If the book has blank pages, is it really worth it, you know?
true, but it could also be used as a sketchbook, if you think about it.
Well, I could just get a random sketchbook and give that to you if that's what you want.
It's special to me. We'll put it that way.
Well, why have you lost it?
Well, I had it stolen off me, obviously.
Stolen off you. So someone came and stole your sketchbook that doesn't have anything written in it.
Yeah, somebody came along, stole my book, and apparently it's ended up somewhere around here.
How do you know it's round here? That seems very weird. Do you have a tracker on your book?
No, but well, I asked a bunch of people. I've been looking for it, and they told me they'd seen a book of the description of what I'm looking for around here.
How? This is crazy. So everyone has been spying on this book. What is a book, my love? It's a book. Come
Well,
on. It could be some great, amazing weapon, but no, it's just a book, okay? Books don't mean anything. They're worthless. Do you
Well,
understand? It's just a book.
oh no, I perfectly understand, Dawn. But I don't suppose you could do me a favour. You seem like you're in a spot of bother. So
I am. I'm
I'll
in
do-
a lot of bother right now.
I'll do you a deal. You bring me the book that I'm looking for.
I don't
and
know where your goddamn book is.
Are you sure? Alice, roll a history check.
Can I roll intimidation?
Can you roll a history check first? See
Yes,
if you remember where the book is.
Okay. Unnatural 20.
Yes, you perfectly remember where that book is. It just happens to be in Kay's bag. And I mean, as far as you're aware, it's a completely blank book. Kay's been just staring at blank pages. You can't see anything in there, so why would it make sense that she can? She's weird. She keeps staring at that book. But
Look at
you
Alice
definitely remember
using
where
her
it is.
brain. Look at Alice using her brain. Can I roll intimidation now?
Yes, you may.
I need to do some maths. Wait. $31.
31? Nope.
No,
Man,
31.
he is completely unflinching as you try and pull, as you aim your sword towards his face. He does not flinch.
Damn it.
Like I said, if you can get me my sketchbook back, I'll be more than happy to fix your spot of bother for you.
How
mean-
are you gonna fix my spot of bother?
Well, You name what the problem is, and I will fix it. I promise you that.
So, if you know where your book is, why can't you get it yourself? Why do I have to get it for you? And if you know where my book is, how come you don't know what my bother is?
Because I've only heard of my book is around here. I didn't know my book was somewhere where you know it is, so you must have found my book for me. I would very much like it back.
I don't have your book. You can keep it. You can go back home, wherever your home is. There's no book, no weird book with wandering legs round here. Sorry.
It's not got wandering legs on it. Say, you seem to know where my book is.
I
But look-
don't know where your book is.
Roll deception. What did you roll?
9, but it's a natural 20.
29.
Yeah.
You managed to mask your expression quite well.
Woo!
But he looks at you. So you don't know where my book is, but you know exactly what it sounds like. You're describing the book to me perfectly. Are you lying?
What? What do you mean I'm describing the book perfectly to you? I'm literally just making up what this book could be based on your very vague description of it.
Right. Well, if you can find this book that you definitely don't know about, I don't know what your problems are, but I can happily try and help resolve them. And it seems
And
like
how would you do that?
via any means possible. I'm a helpful man. You helped me out by giving me that apple. I'll do what I can to return the favour. Why don't you tell me what the problem is? Seems easy enough. I scratch your back, you scratch mine.
It's very tempting, you know. I am pretty good at a bit of, hunted things down, some investigation.
Yeah. Seems easy enough.
I'll see what I can do for you.
Thank you. Right, I should get on my way. I need to
On
get
your way
some
where?
food.
To go find your book?
Well,
That you
no.
don't even want to go find?
Well, you seem to know where it is, and I'm also going to be
I
looking
don't
for
know
it.
where your book is.
I'm also going to go and get some food, and then start searching the area for it.
Well, I'll do the same.
Thank you. Have a nice day. And he gets up a little weakly and uses a branch to just hobble along.
Can I chuck him a pack of rations?
If you want to, but he is slowly making his way out of the clearing.
No, I'll chuck him a pack of rations. It's like a friendly gift.
He smiles and crouches down to pick it up, using this branch to hold himself up, and then leaves. So what are you going to do, Alice?
I think I'm gonna wander back to the party.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically Kay.
Okay. So you head back towards the guild, and you end up finding Kay, who's just sitting by the waterside. And she's just sitting there on her own next to the river, watching some fish just kind of go by. Her backpack is resting by a tree with the book probably inside.
Can I sit down next to Kay?
Yeah? So you plop yourself down next to where Kay is, and she looks over. Oh, hi. How are you, Alice?
I'm less angry. Yeah. Does everyone really hate me?
I wouldn't say everybody hates you.
But
More,
they basically hate me.
More that I don't think a lot of them understand the decision that you made. Because to be fair, we were only gone for like a couple of weeks, and then you lost interest in Mado. Which I understand if you're one of those people that doesn't really like staying in a relationship, but I don't think everybody else shares the same free viewpoint as I do. I don't really do love. I do books. I don't do love, but it seems like something that my mother Cassandra used to tell me about quite frequently.
Books are pretty boring in my opinion, but are you reading a book that has no words in it?
Huh?
Aren't you reading a book that has no words in it?
Yeah? Why?
It's so confusing. How do you read a book with no words?
Well, I mean, if you want, I can lend it to you and you can see if you can read it. But so far, the only people who have been able to read it are me and Alistair.
Let me have a go.
It's a bit unusual that you want to read a book, but I guess. Do you want to roll deception?
Okay.
What did you roll?
15. 15.
15 versus. Oh, never mind. That's a nat one. Yeah, so Kay just kind of shrugs it off. Yeah, I mean, seems normal. I guess it's because Mira's not really interacting with you as much now, or seems to have gone off you a little bit. Yeah.
I just want to be cool like Mira again, and maybe if I can show her that I can read the book without words, maybe she'll like me again.
Well, I don't think that's the way to go about it, but sure. Just make sure
Can
to.
I open the book and see if I can read it?
Yep. So you open the book and it is completely blank.
Is it a magical spell that makes you read it?
Well, it's a language called Runic. It seems like it doesn't show up at all unless you know how to read Runic. I could teach you, but it's kind of hard.
Okay.
Hold on, let me just And she gets up and goes over to her bag. Do you want to take the book, or are you going to wait for her to come back?
I'm gonna wait for her to come back.
She comes back and has this interesting looking cipher. On one side are a bunch of your normal A to Z. On the other side are these interesting looking characters that seem kind of wavy.
Oh my goodness, is this what you guys really read? You read lines and squiggles?
Well, it's more of your understanding of magic kind of changes how well you can read it, but it is its own unique language.
Oh my goodness. This looks nothing like Elvish.
No, it's quite unique.
Ah, yeah, you could say that again. Look, that one looks like a fish, and that one looks like the sun, and that one looks like some lines are just squiggles.
Yeah, I mean, if you want, I can give you both the book, the book without words, if you want to call it that, and the other, the cipher for it, and you can try and learn it.
Yes, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna decode it, and then I'll be cool like Mira, and Mira will like me again.
Okay. Well, here you go, I guess. And she hands you the book. She hands you the book and the cipher for you to read it.
Thank you, Kay.
It's okay. I'm just glad that you're taking an interest in the world of knowledge.
I am. I'm gonna get smarter now.
And what are you doing from here?
I'm gonna go back into the guild.
Into the guild hall.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alice has figured out that this book is worth a lot and everyone hates her, so now she has the power.
Okay. So as you're making your way back to the guild, are you going to consider the man's offer?
I mean, it's obviously in her mind, but she's gonna wait it out a little bit. So if she
Okay.
runs into the man, then coincidence, I guess.
Let me roll my percentile
Oh, no.
dice to decide what's going to happen. Alright, percentile dice. What happens? Ooh. So yeah, as you're walking along, out of the library walks the man that you found earlier.
Oh
Still
no!
still-
Oh no!
still
Oh, no.
still
No,
fully
no,
dressed
no,
in his
no.
rags and walking along with his cane. And he is, he's limping. His limp is still quite pronounced and it's quite severe.
What does he look like again? Now that he's healed?
You have not taken the time to observe him, but you may do that now if you wish.
I wish to observe the man.
We're talking the whole time with our eyes closed.
Yeah, I wasn't actually looking at him.
He is a 5'7" male, and it appears as
Wow,
though,
descriptive.
and he appears to be some sort of some sort of vulpine male. Although from the looks of his being, he is covered in bloody rags from head to toe, meaning that any sort of fur that he may have is under bloodied bandages. And it seems as though this man might be some sort of do you know what a leper is?
Yeah.
Yeah, basically the same sort of thing. He is covered head to toe in bandages, so none of his skin is exposed to the sunlight.
Oh, so he's basically a mummy.
Kind of, yeah.
Oh, fancy seeing you again.
Oh, hello. It's lovely to see you. Do you,
Have you had any success with your searches?
Unfortunately not. I asked the librarian in there, but she didn't seem too helpful. Apparently she doesn't sell sketchbooks.
Oh, that is a shame.
Yeah. I don't suppose you've had any luck, have you?
Well, no luck at all.
Roll deception. He is going to roll insight.
I rolled a nat 1.
You rolled a nat 20.
Oh dear.
Oh no.
You're caught barefaced lying.
I'm so done with this campaign.
Oh.
That's a joke.
Anyway, so you're caught barefaced lying, and it's very obvious because you are holding the book basically in your hands because the book is too large to fit in your bag. Because I imagine Alice carries a smaller bag on her possession rather than the larger ones, which are just kind of unnecessary. but you are holding the book in your hands. The cipher and the book without words. He immediately recognizes the book without words in your hand. Ah, you have found me a sketchbook.
Okay, but we had a promise here.
Uh-huh.
I have no friends.
Well, if you pass me my sketchbook so I can put it in my bag, so I won't lose it again, and then I will help you. I promise you.
Do you though?
Yep. As they say in my hometown. And he comes out with a phrase that is completely alien to you, as you are unfamiliar with the language. Like, you are completely unfamiliar with the language. And then he bows, very respectfully.
Sorry.
Take a moment to think.
Okay.
And ignore what we're saying in the
yes.
chat, because
Think.
ultimately this decision is yours and yours alone.
I'm holding the power. The make or break. This is so intense. Alice is stupid. I was trying to have a nice character arc for her, but I guess she's gonna fuck it.
So,
Unlike what she's doing Tomato.
Mira, can it? So Alice, what are you planning to do here?
She hands over the book.
The man takes the book from you and starts weeping tears of joy. His cane drops and he drops to his knees, hugging the book and weeping as though he has been reunited with an old friend. However, you do remember that this man is covered in injuries from head to toe, and that things are hard enough when you're injured, as you've probably had experience with, like cuts and slashes on your legs from practicing with your mother Diana and your sister and your grandfather and any of your other relatives. Any injuries to your legs, which this man is covered in, can make it hard to walk. So, almost instinctually, part of you wants to help this man off the ground.
Now, what is your name again?
Sorry. I'm just so happy to have this book back in my hands. My name's Ares.
Oh yes, Ares. How could I forget? Ares, I think it's safe to say that I would consider you a friend.
Thank you.
Where do you live? I know you said, it's quite far away, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a town called Agido, on the island of Valerial.
Why don't you come with me, and I can introduce you to... well, they're not my friends anymore. My old, not friends anymore friends.
Yeah, sounds good.
Come with me.
Could you give
And
me
can
a...
Alice help him up and like take him back to the guild?
Yep. So you help him off the ground, and he asks for his cane, which I'm presuming you hand back to him.
Yes, of course.
And as you're on your way back up to the guild, you hear Kay calling. Hey, Alice!
Kay, I made a friend!
And as you turn, the guy Ares turns his head towards the towards Kay, who is running up the slope, and those relatively nice, gentle eyes rest upon Kay, and he looks to Alice, and in his solemn voice says, "Say, is she one of your friends?"
Kay is not a friend. Kay is an ex-friend.
So you don't consider her a friend at all, do you?
You're my friend. I am loyal to you.
I see. Well, thank you. It's very kind of you to help an old man like me. And you continue up the thing with Kay making her way up behind you. And you're now on there's like a flat plain with a cobblestone path that leads from the town to the guild. And it's a very flat open area. And as you get about halfway there, you can see there have been calls from the guild. There's been a call from someone at the guild, and you realise that Gelda is standing in the entranceway of the guild, waving at you, with Fenrir kind of looking forward with his head tilted. As Gelda runs out to greet you, and obviously Alec and Mira are still inside helping bench press. Yuzok and Xanis are not present, but Gelda starts running toward you, and starts running towards you and this injured man. And the man looks to you again, Alice. Say, is this boy that's running up to us, is he your friend?
Everyone is an ex-friend. I told you. You're my only friend now.
Yeah.
Look, I made friends with an old man.
Are you shouting that to Kay, or are you shouting that to Gelda?
To Gelda.
To Gelda. Okay. Gelda looks really happy. Oh, that's calls out. Oh, that's lovely. Let me go call Milo and Penton. They'll want to meet them. They want to meet this man. And fortunately enough, Milo and Penton were kind of hanging around.
I'm not friends with them either, by the way.
Good to know. And Milo and Penton, you kind of standing in the entrance of the guild, seeing Alice helping this bloodied, bandaged old man with his nose glistening through the just outside of the bandages that are covering his whole body.
From where I'm standing, can I see his face?
It's covered in bandages, but you can see the only thing you can see are a pair of eyes sticking out the bandages and his nose.
Does he still have the book in his hands?
No, it's in his bag.
Oh. Do you need help?
We're gonna take the nice man. We're gonna take. This is Ares. Ares is my friend, and I'm going to get Ares a bath and you can tend to his wounds.
Hey.
What?
As you're helping this man up, Gelda and Kay are within very close, basically say about 40-50 feet away from you. And you feel the old man's body suddenly relax. The bandages drop, and 3 gunshots are heard. The first, you watch as Gelda's head basically explodes. Kay's head explodes, and the last one is the barrel of a gun directly to your forehead before the lights go out. And that's where I'm going to end the session.
I'm peeking my mic. What?